sa hard disk.
Sure.
I
Okay.
really need your help, brother.
Copy that, man. The meeting is being live streamed. House rules. Please be advised that microphones of non-program participants will be muted to help keep the background noise to a minimum. And may we request the visiting Rotarians and guests to please type in the comment box your name, your club or affiliation, or the Rotarians who invited you to participate in this meeting so that we can properly acknowledge you later in the program. For our open forum after the talk of the speaker, in case you want to ask a question, please use the raise hand button or simply notify us by typing in the comment box. Alternatively, you may want to type in the question and we will try to accommodate it during the Q&A. Lastly, please do not leave after the response of our president, as we will have our group photo op afterwards. Thank you. This is Drex Lagi, your moderator for today. And now, Mr. President, shall we proceed?
Thank you, Drex. With the powers vested in me by the Rotary Club of Makati, I now call this meeting to order.
And now, from Club President Del Padrelanan.
Dale, you're on mute, classmate Dale.
Sorry, let me repeat that. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This joint meeting will now come to order.
And of course, from Club President Ro Gutierrez.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of Rotary Club of Sunvalley Sunrise, I now call this joint meeting to order.
Thank you. And now, we will have the invocation to be led by Rotarian Aldrin Alberto from RC Paranaque Southwest.
Good afternoon. Thank you, fellow Rotarians. And the Bible tells us in Colossians chapter 3, verse 17, and whatsoever we do in word and in deed, let's put ourselves and give it to the Lord for everything that we are doing. So let's put ourselves in the presence of God as we come into his presence. Hallelujah. Father, we come to your presence with all humility and respect. For you are the omniscient, omnipotent, and omnipresent God. You are the source of everything that we have, and indeed, it's a privilege to fulfill your plan and your will for the benefit of your people, called by your precious name. Bless our meeting today, and bless our distinguished speaker today as he tackles the idea and concept for the system that we could use for the advancement and e-commerce of the current business strategy. May you fill him with your wisdom and in the propagation of technology and system that would benefit us all. Thank you for allowing him to share his life and his works through this Zoom meeting. And thank you, Lord, for our fellow Rotarians who made this event possible, particularly to the Rotary Club of Paranaque Southwest, Rotary Club of Makati, and Rotary Club of Sunvalley Sunrise. And we look forward, Lord, for hearing good news and good innovation for this wonderful meeting. Help us to open our eyes for greater opportunities around us waiting to be unfolded. We love you, we honor you, and thank you for the privilege to be a part of this wonderful meeting. We ask all these things in your precious name, in your mighty name, O God. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. And now, please, I call your attention to the Philippine National Anthem. Thank you everyone for your attention. And now we will have the Rotary Club of Makati hymn.
We're the Rotary Club of Makati, and together we stand proud. We are leaders with integrity, always ready to serve humanity, always living by the four-way test, building goodwill and peace along the way. To aid our fellow men, as true Rotarians we live to lead. We believe in service above self, and this is why we succeed. We're the Rotary Club of Makati, and together we stand proud. We are leaders with integrity, always ready to serve humanity, always living by the four-way test, building goodwill and peace along the way, giving hope to the world. We're the Rotary Club of Makati, giving hope to the world. The Rotary Club of Makati.
Wow, that feels so good to sing it. It woke me up like coffee would. And now for the four-way test, let's please have Miss Emily Lever Santos from RC Sunvalley Sunrise.
Okay, thank you so much, RCM Rex Lagi, and good afternoon, everyone, my fellow Rotarians. So this is the four-way test of the things we think or say or do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned?
Is it fair to all concerned?
Will it build goodwill and better friendships?
Will it
Will it build goodwill and better friendships?
Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
And our answer is yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ma'am Santos. And now we have the greetings to birthday and wedding anniversary celebrators. Well, I have to say happy birthday to me for Friday, March 25. After me would be on Saturday. That would be James Savage, one of the most gentle persons on earth, mind you. And Rodrigo Segura on Sunday, March 27. And of course, dear old Joe Alejandro on Monday for March 28. For the wedding anniversaries, we have Sonny and Natalie Co on the 22nd. PP, Carlo and Kat Rufino on the 30th, while the birthdays of the loveliest Rotarians, Irene Barcelona 22nd and Brenda Lim on the 24th. Happy birthday to us all. Now, of course, it's time to acknowledge our guests and visiting Rotarians. For the lovely Rotarians, we have Nelly Bengson and Yvonne Kwan. I can see your names on the screen. Can you guys hear me now? All right. So greetings to the Rotarians, Nelly Bengzon and Yvonne Kwan. And then, of course, our life-changing president, Gigi Uy from RC Makati Dasmariñas, and Buddy Madrigal from RC Paranaque Poblacion. And of course, we have guests, Julie Esguera and Evelyn Kataga from the Philippine Institute for the Deaf School. And then, of course, Mr. Michael Lance, no relation to the bicycle guy. And then, of course, Lieutenant LTJG Fredeline Buelo from the Philippine Coast Guard or PCGA. And
yes,
of course,
sir.
Patricia Lazol and Angelica Nuruddin. Magandang hapon. Welcome to the club.
Yes, good
now-
afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am. And now, other club matters. We are now going to do a turnover of support to the Philippine Institute for the Deaf. And we are, and our guest who will be receiving the check is Ms. Julie Esquera, who is the founder and executive director of the PID.
Good afternoon. I'm Vice President Cesar Campos and part of this committee, the scholarship committee. And we have invited Julie Esquera, Executive Director, and Evelyn Pataga, the Operating Manager, for the presentation of the second half of this support to the Philippine Institute for the Deaf for 10 scholars. Mr. President.
And the real check. The real check. Here's the real check.
May that check be heard all over the world so that support may continue to be received. All right, awesome. Now, the next stage or the next phase of our program is the President's Time from our President, Attorney Louis Aceyoche.
Thank you, Drex. Welcome to, okay, my audio is okay now, Richard. Okay, thank you, Drex. And thank you to my co-host clubs led by LCP Dale Padilana of RC Paranaque Southwest and LCP Ru Gutierrez of RC Sunvalley Sunrise. We have a very inspiring session today with the speaker with a very interesting backstory. With our medical missions at the PGH and in select communities still on hold on account of the pandemic, the committee decided to undertake a special health mission in Malabon. Please allow me to show you the RCM video news of the project.
Today, March 15, the Rotary Club of Makati traveled to Malabon for another mission of service. President Louis Aceyoche, together with Director Andrew Prieto, met past President Cesar Campos and June Campos in Barangay Acacia, Malabon City. Also in the welcome party were members of our brother club, RC Malabon, led by President Ernie Sia. The mission consisted of provisions of multivitamins to 150 senior citizens in Malabon, with each of them getting a box of 100 tablets. With support from Polyhealth Clinic, a health facility owned by the Campos family, 35 seniors were given free consultation and lab work. The project is under Rotary's Disease Prevention and Treatment area of focus. During the short program, past President Cesar shared an overview of the project.
Whenever possible, ginagawa namin ang tulong para sa Rotary Club of Malabon Senior Citizen Group. Kami ho ay nag-aalala na kayo ang dapat tulungan. So, ito ang aming ginagawa.
For his part, President Louis spoke of Rotary's care for the elderly.
Ang mga senior citizen hindi pinababayaan, hindi yan pinatalikuran, laging inaaruga, laging inaalagaan, no? Malaki na rin ang naisakripisyo tayo tubos ninyo para sa inyong mga mahal na buhay, kaya ito ay aming muntilang contribution para naman kayo ay patuloy na kakalingahin, no?
Director Andrew Prieto gave a short briefing on the proper intake of vitamins and the importance of healthy meals. President Ernie delivered his closing message, expressing gratitude to RC Makati for its assistance to his club and the city of Malabon.
Payo na pangalagaan po natin ang ating kalusugan. Kaya po andito kami para mamahagi, para dagdag po, pampalakas po ng ating katawan.
The project ended with the distribution of food packs to the participants courtesy of RC Malabon. The Rotary Club of Makati is committed to continuing its support of health initiatives that benefit people in various stages of life, from infants to seniors.
I would like again to thank Director Andrew Prieto and past President Cesar Campos for leading this mission. Special thanks also to our baby Rotarian June Campos, who joined us, and likewise to our brother club RC Malabon, led by President Ernie Sia, for helping us organize the project and providing the food packs for the beneficiaries. I am also happy to announce that we have reactivated our partnership with Tulay sa Pag-unlad Incorporated, or TSPI, with the signing of a MOA last March 16 for another micro-lending project of theirs called the Sambayanihan Center. Under this project, 75 TSPI client agents in 3 locales in Luzon, NCR, Quezon Province, and the Bicol region shall be provided with small loans to enable them to engage and transform into digital business and platform. The club supported the Sunvalley project with the 529,000 funding, which consists of interest earnings from the 3 million funding of our original microfinance project during its run from 2016 to 2020. My thanks to Director Philip Soliven, Director Ferdy Ordovesa, and past President Reggie Nolido for joining me in reviewing and vetting this proposal from TSPI. Allow me also to congratulate and thank our Rotary Club of Makati for the successful distribution of the book entitled Beware the Snake at Barangay Sukat in Paranaque. This project seeks to raise awareness among children on the issue of sex trafficking so that they may be sensitive to its manifestations and learn to protect themselves from it. With the incidence of sex trafficking on the rise everywhere, it is heartening to see our Rotaractors taking an active role in fighting against it. This book was described by Angela Garcia as a passion project of hers and her husband, Youth Service Director Inigo Garcia, as the book teaches young children the importance of protecting themselves against sexual predators. Now, with the easing of the pandemic, we were finally able to take the long overdue trip to Ilocos Sur to revisit a project in Narvacan that was started last year and to break ground for 2 water projects in Santo Domingo, Ilocos Sur. I am thankful to past President nominee designate Keith Harrison for joining me on this trip. For the day 1 of our trip, please watch this RCM video news again on Narvacan.
Today, 18 March, is the start of the 3-day Ilocos Sur Service Project trip. President Louis Asioche and President nominee designate Keith Harrison took a flight to Lawag and subsequently met the RCM team of COS Ron and Richard at mid-afternoon in Vigan. The team then met past President Arnel Cabato of RC Narvacan, who provided the van to transport for the first agenda of the trip, a visit to the Reef Buds project site in Narvacan. The team reached Narvacan just in time for the sunset. Then after a look-see of the Narvacan Sea, where the 208 reef buds were planted, our partners played video highlights of the recent dive where it showed the regenerated marine life that grew from our reef buds at the project site. The Save Our Reefs is one of the biggest environment project of Rotary Club of Makati that was initiated last year during the term of IPP Peter Manzano. The project was launched on May 21, 2021, when 210 customized artificial reefs were planted into the sea in Solvec, Narvacan, Ilocos Sur. The reef buds are arranged in such a way as to form a rotary wheel. What makes the project unique and special to RC Makati is that the reef buds were named after the RC Makati members and aunts, current and past, who have made significant contributions to the club. RC Narvacan thereafter hosted a dinner fellowship at the Top V Hotel. During the short program, past President Edwin Concepcion, during his welcome remarks, explained the importance of the partnership.
Because in this partnership, we build bridges for others' lives in simplicity.
President Gilbert Cadasio of RC Narvacan shared their gratefulness for the many service projects which RC Makati has supported to benefit communities in Narvacan.
I am in high hopes that the Rotary Club of Makati will not cease its assistance to the beloved brother club here in Ilocos Sur.
President Louie, on his part, shared his excitement that the projects we have started last year has already started to bear fruit and marine life.
We would like to assure you that Rotary Club of Makati will forever be a faithful, loyal brother and partner of RC Narvacan.
The occasion was also an opportunity for the renewal of our brotherhood agreement, banners, exchange, and sharing of tokens. The partnership with RC Narvacan was just formed last year, but the club is beginning to be one of our most active service partners.
Our efforts bearing fruit as the coral reefs are now finding new life. Congratulations again to immediate past President Peter Manzano. Under his incumbency, this reef bud project started. For day 2, we broke ground for the Santo Domingo potable water supply and distribution project in Barangay Nagbetedan, Santo Domingo, Ilocos Sur, in partnership with Balibago Waterworks. This portion aims to benefit the Zone 1 residents of the barangay. And after a hearty lunch hosted by Balibago Waterworks, we went back to Barangay Nagbetedan, this time to conduct an oral health mission that featured a dental care seminar by a dentist provided by RC Vegan. We thereafter distributed oral hygiene kits to 76 pupils of their elementary school, followed by a turnover of diapers donated by Korea Food for the Hungry to the barangay residents of Nagbetedan. Thank you to past President Tito Panlilio, who is the principal mover behind this project, and past President Junjun Dairit, who is a primary sponsor of this global grant. In the evening, the Rotary Club of Vegan hosted a dinner fellowship in their clubhouse, where we renewed our brotherhood ties and exchanged banners and tokens. And then for day 3, which is a Sunday, we went back again to Barangay Nagbetedan to do another groundbreaking of a water project, this time in partnership with RC Vegan. We contributed 112,000 for the project on a 50-50 sharing scheme with RC Vegan. The project involves the construction of a water impounding facility for water that comes from a mountain spring, chlorination, and the installation of pipes that will carry water direct to households belonging to Zone 3 of the barangay. We wish to thank our brother club RC Vegan for this worthy initiative and President Nani Pasimio for the warm and generous hospitality. Lastly, I am happy to inform you that we have successfully completed our first ever hackathon with the awarding of the winners during a Zoom meeting yesterday. First place went to Team Erin with 50,000 cash prize. Second place with 30,000 cash prize to Team Kakawani. And for the third place with 20,000 peso prize, Team Go Eden. I would like to thank our partners in this initiative, the Rotary Club of Bayi, the Rotary Club of Makati, and the Analytics Association of the Philippines. Thank you as well to our members who participated as judges, Director Philip Sullivan, Brian Liu, Chris Ferraresa, Don Lino, and PP Reggie Nolido, and AAP Michael Lance, who was a superb host yesterday. I would like to congratulate and thank Treasurer Bong Villatuya, the chair of the Hack for Food project, for spearheading this project, which we planned as early as the start of the Rotary year. Thank you as well to Director Drex Lagi, our moderator today, for the technical advice on how best to implement the program. With the success of this Hack for Food project, it will be no surprise if we will have another one next year. Back to you, Drex. Sorry, that was kind of long.
Drex, you're on mute.
Drex, you're on mute. Okay. Probably I'll take over. LCP Dale Padrilana will now render his president's time. Classmate Dale, please proceed.
Work? Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, I just
Hello?
called on Dale Drex to
Can you
render
hear me?
his president's time. Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Oh, thank you. Now for the president's time, Club President Dale Padrilanan of RC Paranaque Southwest.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank each and everyone for coming here this afternoon and joining us this joint meeting with Rotary Club of Makati and Rotary Club of Sunvalley Sunrise, our daughter club from Paranaque. The RC Paranaque Southwest is a medium club comprises of 32 strong and vibrant members who have passion to serve people. And despite of the new norm brought upon by this pandemic, does not change their hearts to continue to help our community and those who are less fortunate. I am also very grateful that recently we just added 6 new members in our roster. We just inducted 6 new members who share the same passion as the rest of Rotarians, with the hearts of compassion to serve not only the less fortunate, but also our community. Our projects for the Rotary Club of Paranaque Southwest, when we just launched the grand launching of the eCarp, which is Every Child a Leading program, is a service project of our club, wherein we identified 30 students where we teach on a weekend basis. That is for 6 months. We officially also turned over our global grant project at Don Bosco High School. This project consisted of the refurbishment of 8 restrooms, installation of 9 hand wash stations, and 8 drinking fountain facilities. We just had our medical and dental mission and mental health coaching and feeding the remote barangays in Oriental Mindoro. This is a 4-day major project, and with the collaboration with the Rotary Clubs of Sunvalley Sunrise, RC Makati Gems, RC Metropolitan Pateros, Rotary Club Makati Rockville, Rotary Club Paranaque Lacambini, Rotary Makati Ayala Triangle, as well as the District 3820, namely Rotary Club of Calapan, Rotary Club of Downtown Calapan, Rotary Club West Nauhan and Calapan, and RAC Calapan. Our partners are Y1 Ships Philippines, the Philippine Coast Guard's Auxiliary, Philippine Bible Society, Inner Wheel Club of Quezon City, Halcyon Mental Health and Philan Security Service. It is actually a humbling experience for us to be able to witness the kind of lives they have. Due to the pandemic, they do their online schooling outside their houses because there's no Wi-Fi signal in that area. In order for the students and other teachers to comply with their schoolwork studies, they either hike in the mountain or literally climb up the coconut trees just to get a good signal. We were humbled to know that we are far more fortunate than these people. I am grateful to our Lord God Almighty because He blesses us so that we can be a channel of blessings as well to others like them. It's always satisfying to see when we are able to help and put a smile in their faces and thanking the Rotary and partners for the help that we have given them. The other service projects that we had, we also have another medical and dental mission and mental health coaching and feeding program as well at Sunvalley, dubbed as the walk. Because of the long walk climbing up the hill to the place where the community is located, we donated 2 PC desktop computers, also in F. Serrano Elementary School, a COVID vaccination campaign at F. Serrano Elementary School and Sunvalley Elementary School with 108 teachers, beneficiaries, and additional 50 beneficiaries like security guards and house helps. These are our projects for now, and we have upcoming projects. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And now it is the President's time for Club President Ro Gutierrez from RC Sunvalley Sunrise.
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank Rotary Club of Makati, led by my fellow life-changing President Louis Asioche, for giving me this wonderful opportunity to participate in this joint meeting and share my thoughts and view together with my brother from another club, life-changing President Dale Padrilanan from Rotary Club Paranaque Southwest. I would just like to share one of my memorable projects, which was done in San Salvador, a small barangay in Masinloc, Zambales. Its population is around 2,500. It is so remote that it can only be reached by a boat. From the beach, it's 30 to 40-minute hike up the mountain. The Rotary Club of Makati, Makati Ayala Triangle, Makati Poblacion, Paranaque Southwest, Metropolitan Pateros, Paranaque Poblacion, as well as the Rotary Club of Sunvalley Sunrise join us in this mission. And of course, this would not have been possible without the assistance of 102nd, 109th, and 111th Auxiliary Squadron from Philippine Coast Guard Auxiliary, Philippine CG Zambales and Substation Masinloc, SIGAD NCR, Task Force Malasakit, and the Municipal Government of Masinloc. We were also assisted by Halcyon Mental Health and Philan Security Agency. This was a project that targeted all areas of focus except WASH. We serve this community through feeding, mental health coaching, food pack gifts, hygiene kits, and school supplies. I was particularly touched by this project because despite the surge in COVID and strict alert levels, different organizations such as Rotary Club, Philippine Coast Guard Auxiliary, and Philippine Coast Guard risk their lives in order to give help to those who are in need. Another signature project of Sunvalley Sunrise is the psychological first aid training of both Rotarians and Rotaractors. During the pandemic, trainings continued via Zoom. For the coming year, we are cooking up something exciting with our PFA program, so watch out for it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And now, as a prelude to what we are all waiting for, here to introduce the guest speaker, our past president, Fred Pascual, definitely from RC Makati.
Thank you, Drex. Thank you, Drex. Today, we have the last of our success stories guest speaker, a gentleman by the name of David Almirol Jr. David is a full-time technopreneur and a full-stack programmer. He founded Multisys Technologies Corporation, the leading software company solutions with massive operations in the Philippines, whose platforms and solutions are being used by thousands of companies and organizations. Multisys is a multi-awarded outfit that is considered today as the most important software company developing applications for big businesses and micro, small, and medium enterprises as well, with full-scale digital solutions running over 2,500 business enterprises and organizations. Its clientele has not been limited to the Philippines. He has expanded to 7 countries as of the moment. Multisys has also branched out to provide digital apps to local government units like Paranaque and Manila, among the cities in the company's client list. In 2018, 3 years ago, PLDT Global Investments Holdings Incorporated took a 45.73% minority stake in the company, in Multisys, for a price tag of 2.15 billion pesos. Over the years, David has received multiple recognitions, including being an honorary for science, technology, and engineering, an honoree, I would say, an honoree for science, technology, and engineering in the Once in a Lifetime Award. We're all familiar with this, the Outstanding Young Men, or TOYM Award of JCI Philippines. This happened in 2020. He was also named the Filipino Technology Icon of the Year at the 4th Asia Pacific Luminary Awards in 2021. It's not these awards or his accomplishments in Multisys that make David's life interesting. Much more interesting is the fact that before reaching the success he now enjoys, David was an OFW working for years at US military bases in Iraq. He returned to the Philippines in 2010 to establish Multisys. Let's now listen to David Almirol as he shares with us his journey as a Filipino technology entrepreneur. I hope he will also talk about business strategy and resilience, particularly in these challenging times we now face. David, the floor is yours.
Multisys Technologies Corporation is your one-stop system provider. We do advanced systems research Technologies Corporation is your one-stop system of IT systems. We do advanced systems research and development. We show integrated set of programs of IT systems that drive businesses nowadays. Software solutions. Backed by our integrated set of programs and customize solutions that drive according to your business requirements. Backed with speed, accuracy, and efficiency. In our efforts to help Filipinos' way of life through digital innovations and transformation, we partnered with IT companies, system contractors, government agencies, big conglomerates, small and medium enterprises, and tech startups as well. We go above and beyond partnerships. It's a teamwork, and we make sure that your business and ours grow together. We find success in every collaboration and establish meaningful connections. That's why we want to partner with you. Here at Multisys, we empower your business. Multisys is a one-stop software company. So instead of you talking to too many integrators, you'll be able to come up with a centralized and automated way of doing things. We have a team that really move like one. So they are really united. So instead of one programmer, one system approach, I think multiple programmers joining force together, they can collaborate easily. We have speed, we have accuracy, we have efficiency. I think that's the secret of the group. That's why companies love to work with us. It will be faster for them. It will be more efficient to develop and deploy a certain system. They are a designer, they are a coder or programmer, they are a systems analyst, they are a quality control expert, and they're a UI and UX expert as well. That skill is not easy to really somehow have in one program. Multisys can really customize the system. We can customize it according to their needs, design for their own and existing process flows. We're all racing against the clock. Priority of Multisys is to elevate the lifestyle of every Filipino by delivering automated, integrated systems to make sure that we can fast-track the operation, processes. 'Cause I'm about to end, I think it's all about how fast can you deliver a certain technology. Speed matters nowadays. Sabi nga sa Tagalog, diba, daig ng maagap ang masipag. That's why we develop futuristic systems. What we do is that we predict the future, we develop, and then the moment that we are partnered with a certain entity, we're able to show them a live system. It's not a PowerPoint presentation. It will be a prototype, it will be a working system. So this will give them an idea how to solve a problem. This will give them an idea to expedite their processes. So not only showing them a vision, but showing them a solution already. We develop end-to-end solutions for 8 industries now. And we would like to automate other industries as well. Currently, we have an end-to-end solution for information technology businesses, okay, ERPs. We have e-government solutions, healthcare, an end-to-end solution for utility, whether you are an electric company, a water utility company, a telco, or a cable utility company. We do also retail, hospitality, academe, and of course, the new one is the banking and finance. Here at Multisys, we empower your business. Hi, magandang hapon po sa ating lahat. Thank you, Fred, Attorney Louie, Mr. Dale, Mr. Rowe, and Drex, and to the whole Rotary Club of Makati for having me here today. I don't know if I am worthy to be here and to be chosen as a guest speaker before such a distinguished crowd. But allow me to share with you our humble beginnings and the modest journey ngayong araw na to. I was quite worried actually when I asked Athens, what shall I discuss to this session? Sabi sa akin, sir, basta ikwento mo na lang yung history ng Multisys at kung paano ka nagsimula. I was asked to share some inspiration or inspiring stories today. I was quite worried. Number one, baka kulang po yung buong araw natin if I'm gonna tell all the stories that we have, both failures and success. Second is baka po mag-iyakan lang po ako dito kapag nagkwento ako ng aking buhay. So I was really asking myself what I should discuss today. In fact, I was trying to choose from the mistakes or maybe from the success that we're able to to experience, because I believe that both success and failure cannot be separated. They're actually tandem together, and both of them, they can be also source of inspiration. I believe that behind some success are tons of failures and mistakes in the past. I was given 20 minutes to talk, but I will try to make it very brief to discuss some of our experiences and maybe source of success. First and foremost, siguro, I would like to introduce myself first. Well, I am David Almirol. Actually, I am a full stack programmer. If you said full stack programmer, para po akong one-man team. So ako yung nagde-design, ako yung nagko-code, ako rin yung nag-i-implement. So 10 years ago sa Multisys, around 2010 to 2014, I was alone that time. So wala pa akong office. My office were inside Starbucks and Coffee Bean. So literally doon ako nagpo-program kasi may libreng internet yung yung coffee shop. So I don't have office at that time. So I was staying in one of the squatter in Santa Ana for 4 years. That's where I first started Multisys. So along Manila, I remember literally siguro nalakad ko lahat yan kasi wala akong sasakyan, so I have to use jeepney or I have to walk to send or give proposals to multiple companies around the city of Manila. So around 2015, doon lang po ako nagsimulang mag-build ng team. Yun po yung pinangalanan ko ng Avenger team. So meron kaming 5 team that time. Meron kaming code name kasi ang dahilan bakit kami may code name, we are being used by multiple contractors to develop multiple solutions. Dahil para kami po yung atrabahador ng mga contractor para tagagawa ng system that time. But before I started Multisys, let me give you a little background of what I do. I'm a computer science graduate. I was a graduate of Baguio Colleges Foundation. Ngayon po ay University of the Cordilleras na sa Baguio. So I went abroad. I stayed in the Middle East, particularly in Iraq, for almost 4 years. So hindi po ako sundalo, but I was working with a company called AAFES, the Army and Air Force Exchange Services. So their job is to support the Army, the Navy, the Marines, and other soldiers coming into the base. So it so happened that I was illegally recruited at that time, so I don't have choice but to accept whatever job. In fact, nagtagal po ako naging janitor. Siguro nasa 1 year and 2 months akong janitor doon kasi walang trabaho. Then paunti-unti akong na-discover na I can do programming. I become also a warehouse worker. I'm a very good forklift driver also. So lahat ng trabaho yata tinanggap ko. I was a merchandiser also, naging cashier ako, naging store worker ako. And yeah, I'm not ashamed to tell that's how I started that time. But along the way, I've met a lot of people, good partners, good friends. And I think that's the start of the ignition of the success of Multisys, because a lot of people really helped me, a lot of partners. So I remember a lot of friends from the UK, from Japan. We have friends from the US. They taught me, how to code, no? So gumaling ako ng konti until sa time na umuwi ako. But unluckily, even nakapag-ipon ako, I lost that business. Nagtayo ako ng computer store sa province. Medyo, sometimes young and stupid. So medyo bumagsak yung negosyo ko sa Isabela nung nagtayo ako ng computer store. So literally, we lost everything. We lost our house, and then it so happened pa na nawala pa si Papa sa nung namatay pa yung aking daddy. So it's actually a total mess, So I was planning to go back abroad again. I remember around 2010, I was applying to one recruitment agency in Manila. it so happened ubusan na ako ng pera, so I was sleeping in one of his couch sa office niya. So I was staying for like a week. Medyo nairita siguro sa akin at sinabi sa akin, ba't ka na natutulog sa couch ko? Siguro magandang umuwi ka muna habang nag-aantay ka ng trabaho. So sabi ko sa kanya, I cannot go home. Wala akong pera, hindi na ako makakauwi sa probinsya. So kinuha niya akong programmer. So sabi sa akin, sige, habang nag-aantay ka ng trabaho mo, can you create my system? So doon po nagsimula yung story ni Multisys. So yung pong unang-unang system na ginawa ko, I developed his system, and then his friend bought it, and then his friend of friends bought it again, until such time na marami nang bumili ng system na ginawa ko that time sa isang recruitment agency. And then there you go, pinanganak ang Multisys Technologies Corporation. So 4 na taon po yon na mag-isa ako. Hindi na po ako nakapag-abroad until such time na yun, nagkaroon ng mga iba-ibang kontrata, both local and government. So doon po nagsimula yung journey ni Multisys. So for almost, for more than 4 years, I was literally the sole employee and boss sa Multisys. But around 2015, I assembled my team to fast track the story. Now, we have more than 500 employees now. Meron na po kami ngayon nasa 300 programmers. And we have 5 offices now in Metro Manila. And I'm so blessed and thankful that, God allowed to have a big blessing noong 2018 when the PLDT Group acquired 45% of Multisys. So we become the technology arm and product development arm of the PLDT Group. So right now, I think, I cannot tell all the success kasi mas maraming failures. And then all of those failures become my stepping stone, to somehow reach this point. That's why I'm quite humbled to tell this story, and I hope this could be somehow source of inspiration to all of us. That I think is all about resilience and partnership. I believe in friendship. I don't believe na partnership is just business. I believe in friendship. So once the friendship is there, everything will follow. The loyalty, the trust, the long-term relationship. And I believe that that kind of relationship is actually a continuous relationship where you can easily grow the business altogether as partners. So in fact, we're able to expand na rin kahit papaano outside the country. And we have 7 big groups now in Multisys. We are quite active in the government. We develop smart cities. E-commerce is also a big part of our business. We are part of e-payments as well, e-business. We develop mobile apps and websites for companies to help companies not only expedite their processes, but to help them save money. That's very important. I think our goal is how to help companies save money and make money at the same time through technology. Yes, so I guess I want to tell more, but allow me to show you a video called the IT Jungle. Actually, I think first time ko yatang i-show ito ngayon sa isang session. I never shown this video, but I think for the first time we are letting this video out for your appreciation. So Multisys has always been a champion of digital transformation. We all know that digital platforms and solutions are the key to pivot effectively. Ito po ang pandemya, especially, has been a challenging, times for all of us. And we have to find ways to enable our people to continue with our lives and our stakeholders to fulfill their duties. Our situation now might be difficult, but it is impossible without proper tools and technologies in place. Kaya mahalaga po ngayon na magkaroon po ng technology or software or system ang isang company. I hope that all of us here as business partners, as friends, can work together. We all have our own unique strengths. Of course, we have our own weaknesses as well. But I believe that if we combine our strengths all together, we become more powerful as partners. We will become stronger and achieve even more as partners and friends. Allow me to share you my favorite Bible verse today, written in Proverbs chapter 22, verse 4. It says there that the rewards of humility and fear of the Lord are wealth, honor, and life. So to conclude my talk today, please allow me to share our IT jungle video. Once again, maraming salamat, Rotary Club of Makati. I'm really humbled to be here today. Cheers at magandang hapon po sa lahat. When we're starting, actually, it's really a jungle.
So I was sort of quite mystified as to what was the reason for David's presence. But so when we began to talk and he began to explain himself, his life, his own experiences, I was increasingly impressed that evening that here we have actually a national treasure in a small guy, right? The rest is history because it took a life of its own. We said we would like to invest in Multisys. So it took us about a year, right, David, before we finally closed sometime in November.
That unity will become more stronger because we are now united with another entity, a giant one, that's PLDT. We have efficiency, we have accuracy. That's how Multisys reached this point. And imagine now that that herd become more stronger because we understand each other, we contribute our strength together. In fact, the family that I have now, we love each other. Minsan, naluluha ako. You know why? Parang, I cannot believe that I have this team. There are thousands of IT companies out there, but Multisys has that unique attribute that others don't have. We have that one word. We have unity.
His business, his acumen, and his creativity, because he has no boundaries, he has no limits. Somebody said that your stationer's life is limited only by your imagination. I think he's got lots of that when he showed us around his headquarters. And that's something that I think will magnify the strengths of PLDT. We need somebody like him as a partner to get us really into the IT space, because PLDT itself is transforming from a traditional telco company into a digital company. I don't think we can do it ourselves. Thank you, David. It's a partnership that we would like to nurture. And as you said, we can do a lot more with you, and we intend to.
Surviving the jungle is not about how big you are or how effective you are. One thing that I discovered is how to build a good herd inside the jungle, to build a team, a good team. It's good to be good. It's good to be good. You cannot build a good herd if there's no trust in it. Once you have the trust, the second thing is how to prove that you are trustworthy. They've written my name in the stars. For diamonds and castles, after blood and greed is gone. There's
no perfect company. There's no perfect boss. Even me, there's no perfect employee, no perfect partnership. But one thing that I always put in their heart and mind is that regardless of what weaknesses they have, we understand that combining the strength all together is the most important thing. With the help of PLDT, I know that we are not afraid anymore to go out of the jungle because I know that we have a bigger herd in the group that could protect us, and we are not afraid anymore to show our skills, our capability, our agility, and of course, our cooperation.
Congratulations, David, to you and your wife and your family, and to the Multisys family, and welcome to our own family.
Thank you very much, Dave. That was an awesome and inspiring story, and it blows our mind. I guess the only other person that compares to that story of transformation is our club friend, si Dennis Uy of Converge. Thank you so much. And I guess this is now time for the question and answer portion. I don't see any questions in the chat room yet, so I guess I'll have to start. Dave, with your company growing so big already, what do you think will happen in terms of business dito sa Pilipinas, here in the Philippines? Bear in mind that many of the members in this Rotary Club are like, similar like you, fellow billionaires mo, and they're very active in the stock market. Their businesses are extremely dependent on information technology, and they are also thinking of REIT. With all those things, where do you see the Philippines going, and how can others cash in on the opportunities as well?
Thank you, Drex, for the very complex question. Well, I think in terms of information technology, even before the pandemic, IT is really a booming, green field already. But because of the pandemic, it was a slingshot, literally. So like everyone is now aiming to have their own digital play. Parang lahat gustong magkaroon ng system, di ba? Parang dapat may technology kang gagamitin, you can sell online, you can pay cashless, and you have to operate in a paperless way. I guess, Drex, in my own assessment, we're just starting actually. I think that the Philippine information technology industry, we're just starting. There are tons and tons of opportunities, not only Multisys. That's why Multisys is also helping several startups, because we know that we cannot do all. In fact, we're only doing a little bit of the things that, I know that we're helping some, especially the government and other partners, but I think we need help. I think if we're able to amplify each of the technology companies in the Philippines, small or medium ones, I think we're able to expand more, and maybe we become like a new a silicon country, not a Silicon Valley, right? It's a silicon country. Because, Drex, when I was abroad, I was a programmer abroad, you can find very good programmers. And where are they? They are abroad. You can find them in Google, you can find them in Singapore, you can find a lot of Filipinos in the Silicon Valley. So I guess if we're going to focus our efforts, as technologists, in the Philippines, I guess we're just starting, Drex.
Thank you. Okay, I got a question here from Tony Lopez. Can you please expand on the areas of information technology and digitalization services that you provide to LGUs? And number two, please rank which industries you serve in terms of volume or number of clients. We would like to know more about your company.
Yeah, so let me answer the first question. Right now, one of our, let's call it shining pillar now, Multisys are the smart LGUs platforms. So we develop a lot of solutions for LGUs. In fact, I think and I believe that we are the first company who was able to fully automate a certain LGU from start to finish, from the automation of their real property tax, business tax, mayor's permit, down to the ecosystem of the whole city, even barangay clearances, health permits, cedula, including e-commerce inside the city to help the entrepreneurs, expand and revive again their livelihood. I think we're able to come up with that idea. So I think right now we have like 55 LGUs. And recently, last year, we're able to sign agreement with ARTA, the Anti-Red Tape Authority. So we plan to implement this in a nationwide scale so that we're able to provide ease of doing business to the local government units. So that's one of our shining pillar now in Multisys. To answer the second question, I think in terms of like huge volume or huge transactions coming in, right now we have 27 platforms, Drex. So those 27 platforms are all separated businesses. So it can create both value and revenue at the same time. But I think the biggest right now, the biggest transactions are more on the e-commerce and e-finance. So I think deliveries, payments are being before our biggest volume was with our e-government transactions, but now it's transitioning, okay, from the e-government to the e-finance, e-banking, and e-business altogether. Because the enterprises, the small and medium enterprises, they are now, moving into a decentralized play, meaning they want to have identity, Yes, there are Shopee, Lazada, and Zalora out there, and somehow we also integrate them. But okay, they are now building their own. So I'm sure, Drex, if you have your own business, you want to have your own drexstore.com, right? If you have to have your own restaurant, I'm sure you want to have your drexresto.com, or if you have your own shop, you want to have drexshop.com, so that when you tell to your friends, you're not gonna tell them to buy somewhere, but you go to your own website. So I guess I hope I answered the two questions, Drex. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I don't think I'll have a Drex store anytime soon because it's not in the business what I do. Anyway, here's an interesting question from President Louis Asioche. It's more about sorry. Oh, okay. Anyway, this is a question for you, Dave. It's more about your company culture. Our president asks, programmers are typically perceived to be very nerdy, geeky, who lack social interaction. Is there any truth to this stereotype? And second question, with such inward-looking personalities, how do you keep your team unified? And how do you maintain that team whose members are thought to be rightly or wrongly introverts? How's your corporate culture?
Well, that's a very, very good question, Attorney Louis. Well, I really believe in a family culture. So family culture is our model. I don't believe that people will follow you because you're just commanding. I think people will follow you because they respect you, because they know that you're part of them and they are part of you. I think that family culture is very important. The reason why I adopted that model is because I learned that from the first guy who actually took good care of me. Remember that recruitment agency who saw me sleeping in his couch and invited me that, hey, while you're sleeping in the couch, come here, I will adopt you, be my programmer. And then he let me eat for free. So he has a restaurant before, so he's feeding me, so it's okay. Even he gave me, 25,000 pesos a month. That was my salary as a programmer. But he even gave me a place to stay. So he provided a place to stay, and he also provided my food. And he let me feel that I am belong. That's why when I started Multisys, I adopted that culture actually. So that's why if you visit our headquarters, yeah, I'm very humbled and proud to say that even before the pandemic, we provide everything for free to our people. Free accommodation. We have like 40 rooms for them to stay. They have their own dormitory. We provide them their free barber shop. They have spa. They have massage parlor. They have their own garden. They have their own manukan. They can even plant their own food there. We provide them the whole basketball court, whole volleyball court, whole, they have billiards, they have table tennis. We provide everything because I believe that when you provide things to your people, when they feel that they are not just an employee, but they are part of the whole family, believe me, they will protect you. They will do their best. They will not be just a typical employee, coming from 9 o'clock in the morning and going home around 5 o'clock in the afternoon. But even without commanding, they're doing it. And the accomplishments, the achievements, in my estimation, they accomplish like 10 times the regular capability. That's why I think a family culture is something that I'm quite fond of implementing in Multisys. And of course, there's no perfect leadership. Even me, I commit mistake, and even our employees, they're not perfect at all. Especially me. Sometimes, of course, I commit mistake as well. But one thing that I like in a family culture is they understand each other. They know how to understand each mistake, each failures that we're able to commit. And the good thing is every mistake and every failure as a family culture, they're able now to improve immediately. So the growth, the improvement and growth is quite exponential. And it become like a simultaneous growth together. So there's no selfishness in a family culture. So everyone is trying to lift up each other. There's no crab mentality in the family culture. Everyone is trying to pull up each other. I guess I hope I answered the question of our President Louis. Thank you.
Yes, indeed. That was an excellent answer. Kasi we really appreciate that you have a great corporate culture and that the morale in your team is high because you're getting into the e-commerce and e-banking business. And based on our experience, most of the hacking, most of the problems with cybersecurity almost always happen when they're most dangerous when there are disgruntled employees. And with that disclosure of yours, it is great to know that type of cybersecurity would be on the minimal risk when trying to audit your company, siguro. Which takes us into the next question from fellow member Chris Ferrareza. He asks, what will it take to get the Philippines to the Silicon country status, like you mentioned? And where do you see Mr. David Almirol and Multisys in such a process?
That's a very complex question, but allow me to answer it briefly. I guess it's a big dream, everyone's dream to convert the country as a Silicon country, or a Silicon Valley country. But I guess it's all about the mentality and mindset, very important. If everyone is trying to compete with each other, I think everyone is pulling down. I think it's really hard to accomplish that kind of dream. But if the mindset and mentality will become like a joining forces altogether, instead of attacking someone's empire, trying to bring out someone's empire, if everyone will collaborate, I believe in the spirit of collaboration and cooperation, Drex. And I guess if all companies will try to merge what they have, especially that's why Multisys is not actually a competition to everyone, Drex. I don't believe that we are competing with anyone. I rather enable, I rather to become an integrator, I rather to become a gap filler or technology gap filler, or I rather get your technology and enable that to our technology. I rather work with you than against you. I rather use your technology if you have it, or maybe I have something that you don't have, you might use it, or maybe you have something that I don't have, I might use it. Combine that, then there you go. We can save time, you know, we can save time, we can save a lot of manpower, we can save a lot of resources, and there you go. I think we can hit that dream to become a Silicon Valley country, you know. I think we are, everyone in the Philippines, not only in IT, you know, there are brilliant entrepreneurs, but if we're going to open that mindset of collaboration, I think we can easily reach that goal to become a Silicon Valley country. And the second question, where do you see, where do I see myself and Multisys in the process? I think we're just scratching the ground, actually, Drex. We're not even, you know, we're not even doing that big vitality in terms of like helping the government or helping the community. As mentioned a while ago, we're starting. And I just hope that in the future, my dream as a entrepreneur, our partners and friends will realize that, you know, that we can be trusted. That's very important. Number two, that we are not a competition to them, but we are an enabler to them. Third, that we are an amplifier. So we are not a company that can dilute, okay, whatever engagements or achievements, but it can be a tool so that when you use us in Multisys, you'll be able to expedite your processes and you somehow save money and you somehow operate in a very fast manner. And same thing with us, you know, if you allow us to use also what you have, I think we're able to complete whatever missing pieces in our operation as well. So I hope, Drex, I was able to scanty, you know, answer the
Yes,
complex
indeed.
question.
Yes, indeed. So now we change pace, and I think we have the last question for the day. It's the least complex, and it's also perhaps the easiest, and also the most lighthearted. From Club President Gigi Uy, from Rotary Club of Dasmariñas, are you have such an amazing story. Are you an alien? And also, this is my question. Can you explain for the younger audience out there, what's the story behind all those Iron Man figures? Huge. Those are expensive. I know those things.
Remember I mentioned our humble story when I was starting, right, around 2015, when I assembled my Avenger team. We were 5 that time. Now we're able to finish all the Marvel characters, not only Avengers, we're able to finish all the Marvel characters. The story behind that idea, while if you visit our headquarters, we have a lot of Avenger statues and different kind of Marvel characters here, is because I believe that even superheroes, they have weaknesses, Drex. Even the most powerful superheroes, they have weaknesses. They are not complete. But imagine if multiple superheroes with multiple weaknesses, but they have multiple strengths as well. If they combine forces all together, I'm sure they will be more stronger altogether. So that's the idea why we have those Avenger and Marvel characters in the office.
I so agree with your answers. And that's also why I think Marvel is better than DC Comics. So I do not see any other questions. So I guess now it's time for the response from Club President Dale Padrelanan from RC Paranaque Southwest. You're on mute, sir.
Okay. Can you hear
Excellent.
me now? Okay.
Yes.
Wow, that was a powerful message from our resource guest speaker, Mr. Dave Almirol Jr. A Multisys, a one-stop software company We learned a lot from you, sir, on how the technology works in different industries, from IT to telcos to hospitality to banking to almost all industries. Well, allow me to share what I personally learned from the life of Dave Almirol Jr. That even if you fail many times, no, even if you fail many times in life, or so many times in your life, in your business, in your career, you can always get up and just move on forward until you succeed. That loyalty, trust, and humility are very important ingredients in any company or even personally. That wherever we are in our career, businesses, or even in our club, let's not be discouraged because there's always light at the end of the tunnel. Look at him, CEO of Multisys, was just wearing a shirt during the launch with MVP or Manny V. Pangilinan, a down-to-earth employer who takes care of his employees very well. He has a big piece of lot or office here in Paranaque, because I'm from Paranaque. He really took care of his employees, even during the pandemic. He allows them to stay there, feed them, allow them to play in different sports facilities and all for free, because that's how he takes care of his employee. Because for him, his people, his employee are his greatest asset. His company's net worth is, I don't know exactly, but I just heard this. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dave, is about 5 billion pesos. Is that correct? Correct me if I'm wrong. I just heard this. A multi-billionaire at a very young age of 41. He owns majority of Multisys at 55% with MVP team. He was not afraid to face any challenges in life. A character most Filipinos should have in order to get out of that poverty mentality. We hope to see more Dave Almirol Jr. in Rotary Club and eventually in our country. Thank you for sharing your life with us and your vision for the country. Again, maraming salamat, Dave. Good afternoon.
Thank you very much. And now, a response from President-elect Emily from Rotary Club Sunvalley Sunrise.
Thank you so much. Wow, this is so overwhelming. I really enjoyed the talk of Mr. David Almirol Jr., a Multisys company owner. And this is my first time attending such an engagement, hearing from the very heart and mind and soul of a multi-billion company. So I took note of some of the very important words, such as the resilience, the partnerships, the friendships, the speed, accuracy, unity, trust, and building trust, and showing that you are trustworthy as an employee. So these are very powerful words. As an educator, I can see in Mr. Almirol's whole being that the core values of the Department of Education is in him. Being makajos, makatao, makakalikasan, at makabansa. So he always acknowledged God's presence and divine intervention in his life, in his business. And also he is so very makatao, showing how he is hands-on, how he took care of his employees. And he also is makakalikasan, the IT jungle, yung setup ng kanilang rooftop where the employees works, very refreshing. And also he is so makabansa, thinking that he was working abroad, but he decided to go back to his land and to establish what he loves to do and what he aspires to do more for his family and for the nation, of course. And I love to hear that you are working with the government, the ARTA, and other LGU projects, technology projects. So I am very much inspired by your talk, sir. I am very much inspired. So that's all po. Thank you so much and good afternoon.
Thank you very much, ma'am. And now, For the response of my club president, President Louis Aseoche.
You know what? The first thing I noticed when I was watching that video of Multisys was the array of Marvel superheroes. I'm a Batman fan, by the way, from DC Comics. Adorning presumably the lobby or at least one of the floors of its building, and another lineup of different life-size Iron Man figures at another portion of the building. And I thought this was just a quirky, expensive hobby by the CEO, but then I understood that these action figures represent the concept of multiple programmers and IT experts joining forces in providing end-to-end solutions for mankind, in this case, business organizations or companies. When Mr. David Almirol Jr. says that these programmers and IT experts are working together with speed, accuracy, and efficiency in mind, then the inspired analogy with the heroes in the Marvel universe is apt. He also says that their group has one attribute that other software companies do not have, and that is unity. And this is the unifying force that enabled his herd of programmers and IT experts to survive and succeed in the IT jungle. As past President Fred Pascual explained earlier, Mr. David Almirol would be the last of our success stories lineup of speakers, and it is only fitting and proper that we end it with David, because he truly has an inspiring backstory before reaching the pinnacle of success. He was an OFW working menial jobs in the Middle East, even if he has a computer science degree from the University of Cordilleras, as it is now called. He came back to the Philippines only to lose practically his shirt and his house from a failed computer business in his hometown in Isabela. But he persevered, and it is this perseverance that got the eye of the owner of a recruitment agency whose office practically served as his house and the office couch as his bed after being rendered homeless by his failed investment. And that gave him his break. And the rest is, using the cliche we always like to use in success story narratives, history. With the corporate giant that is the PLDT acquiring a 45.73% stake in Multisys in 2018, Mr. Almirol's company has indeed arrived and taken a firm foothold in the field of software engineering solutions. But were it not for a previous business boss that would have made persons of lesser metal and character a basket case, Mr. Almirol would not have gotten to where he is now. He says so himself. He considers his past failures as his natural mentors. This past defeat only drove him to persevere more and steeled his determination to succeed. Just like our Avenger superheroes who get pummeled first, or like in the Infinity War series, disintegrate into dust before reappearing and vanquishing their foes in the end. So did the CEO of Multisys use his past failure as a springboard to success. Now, Mr. David Almirol Jr. is leading a team of super programmers in Multisys towards a future of growth and expansion. A national treasure in a small guy, says Mr. Manny Pangilinan in that video. But now, Mr. Almirol is certainly standing tall among his peers. So thank you, David, for giving us your time. The members of my club, the Rotary Club of Makati, our aunts, the Rotarians who are with us today, led by my co-hosts, LCPs Dale and Rue, my classmates, life-changing presidents, and our guests, convey our deepest gratitude for sharing your very inspiring story. Please accept our tokens of appreciation. First off, we are giving you this 55th coffee table book, recently published and featuring the milestone of the Rotary Club of Makati in the last 55 years. And you can enjoy reading our coffee table book while swigging this fine bottle of Cabernet. We are also giving you this plaque of appreciation, which has an embossed replica of the steel plate on the reef bud that will be planted one of the reef was to be planted in the seabed of Narvacan. We showed you the video earlier in Narvacan, Ilocos Sur, as part of our Save the Reefs project. And this is a major environmental initiative of the Rotary Club of Makati, which I had the opportunity to visit during my recent sortie in the north. So let's have our customary photo session with our guest speaker. Please open your video and let's smile by saying Multisys. Multisys.
Okay, open camera.
Multisys.
Multisys.
One more. Thank you.
So classmates, please do your respective adjournments. Call now LCP Dale. LCP Dale, you need to
All right.
adjourn.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming and joining our meeting this afternoon. I declare the joint meeting adjourned.
And in behalf of the Rotary Club of Makati, I adjourn this meeting. Thank you for your time.